Shalom Aleichem, Agute Voch, Erev Tov, and we, as we mentioned earlier by the story, we're in the middle of the auspicious days of the 3rd of Tammuz, and coming up Shabbos and Sunday, the 12th and the 13th of Tammuz, the Chag HaGeula, the 3rd of Tammuz, the beginning of the Geula, and the 12th and 13th of Tammuz, the actual Chag HaGeula, as the Rebbe mentions it in the name of the Frierdiker Rebbe, and as it has been printed in various places by the letters by the Frierdiker, by the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe. We should be meritorious of these auspicious days and this auspicious time, because we can actually, some Hasidim, when they make the account, these days are days of Chol HaMoyed, because the first Yontif is Gimel Tammuz, then we have 7 days in the middle, in the interim, and then we have the 12th and the 13th of Tammuz, the last days of Yontif. So we should be able to fully utilize these days of Chol HaMoyed, the days of the interim, in order to be able to go and to be fully prepared and immediately now for the revelation of the Rebbe Shlitah Melech HaMashiach on a good and revealed basis. Amen. Teichef u'miyad mamash. In the Dvar Malchus, the hard copy, we find ourselves on page 152, Parshas Emor, and in the PDF file, we're on page 11, letter Ches, letter 8. Letter Ches, letter 8, and the Rebbe comes and says as follows: B'chol ze nisvasef oid yoser b'omdenu b'Shabbos achrei Lag BaOmer. With all that we mentioned before, there's an additional addition as we find ourselves standing the Shabbat after Lag BaOmer, and within the 3 days that are after, within the days following Lag BaOmer, Yom HaHilula v'Yom Simchaseh Shel Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the day of the celebration, the passing, and the day of the rejoicing of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Al Yedei Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai haya gilui pnimius haTorah. It is through Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai that there was the revelation of the inner essence of the Torah. B'chinas niflois shebaTorah. This is the concept of wonders in the Torah. V'ikra gilui haya b'yom istalkusei. And the main revelation of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and his teachings was on the day of his passing. Nishmasa de nishmasa de raisa, the soul of the Torah, pnimius hasedus, the inner essence of the secrets, shegila b'meshach kol yemei chayav, that he revealed during all the days of his life. Ad shal yedei ksivas dvarim elu, to the extent that through the writing of these things, b'sefer HaZehar, in the compilation of the Zehar, harezen isgala achar kach lechol bnei Yisrael. Hence, this was revealed afterwards to all the children of Israel. Ad be'efen dis parnesun, to the extent that there was the concept of elaboration, behavona v'hasoga, in the comprehension and the assessment, the ability to understand. Gilui pchinas niflois, the revelation of the concept of niflois shebaTorah, the wonders of the Torah, the chokhmah bina v'das, on the levels of wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. Ha'aschola, the beginning, ume'enu v'dugma, and similar, and an example too, the gilui pnimis haTorah delosi lavei, the revelation that will be of the essence of the Torah in the future, the immediate future, the coming of Mashiach. And in addition to this, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai gam chiberes pnimius haTorah im nigla de Torah. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai also merged and connected the inner essence of the Torah with the revealed facets of the Torah. V'yesh lemar, and we must say, sheb'Torah atzma nigla the Torah upnimis Torah, that in the Torah itself, the revealed facets of the Torah and the inner essence of the Torah, hem al derech hachiluk ben aleph miloshen ulpana. This is similar to the differentiation between the Hebrew letter aleph that comes from the root of ulpana, v'limud, teaching and study, moichin hashayach lemidas, and this is the intellect that is connected to the attributes, le'aleph eisios pele, to the Hebrew letter aleph, which make up the Hebrew word pele, wonder or wonders, moichin be'etzem, and this is the essence of the intellect. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai chiber es shnehem, and Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai went and connected both of them. V'yesh l'mar b'choach zeh, and we must say that it is with this power, hu po'al gam es ha'koyach l'gilui elokus, he was able to activate the revelation of, he was able to activate the power of the revelation of Hashemliness, of godliness. Also the levels that are above the mundane world. One second. Be'alufei shel olam, within the champion of the universe, the Eibishter himself, Kemaima Yadua Shalei, as is known his famous discourse, Tanya Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai taught, Oimer Chulu, he once says, etc. Kol Mokim Shagolu Yisrael, every place that the Jewish nation was exiled, Shchina Imoen Chulu, the divine presence is with them, with the Jewish nation. Galu leBavel, Shchina Imoen Chulu. When we were exiled to Babylon, so the divine presence was with us. Galu leEdom, Shchina Imoen. And when we were exiled to Edom, this last and final Golus exile, the divine presence is with them or with us. Dahainu, in other words, Shagam b'yosem bebavel chulu, goyla, that even when we were in Babylon, which represents goyla, exile, yesh sham es agili dalufa shalaylam, there is found there the revelation of the champion of the universe. Shchina imayim, the divine presence is with them, was with us. And accordingly, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai continues, within the entire world itself, not only where we were found, but in the entire world, the divine presence was found. As his discourse goes, I have the ability to redeem the entire world from judgment. That he is able to redeem the entire world. The word world coming from the root word helem, hiddenness, the hester, concealment. Min hadin, from judgment, koil din agolus. This includes the judgment of exile. And therefore, it spreads out throughout the entire world. That he had the ability to change the status of the world from Golus, from exile, to Geula, to redemption. V'yesh l'kasher ze gam im ze shelag ba'omer hu hayom shel hayd shebehayd. And the Rebbe continues to say that we must connect this with the fact that Lag ba'omer is the day of Hayd shebehayd, glory within the attribute of glory. That instructs in regard to the concept of hoid, not only glory, but hoidah, admission, acknowledgement. The hoidah shebaydah, an acknowledgement within the acknowledgement. Bechinas pele, this is the concept of wonder, shalamayla ma'asoga, which is above intellectual comprehension or understanding. Umizenim shachachar kach be'alef, and from this it is drawn down afterwards into the aleph, the Hebrew letter aleph, havona v'hasoga, understanding and comprehension. Uleh and to add, says the Rebbe, shehoid shebehoid, that glory within the attribute of glory, hugam, is also seif v'sashlom asfirus beikra midas, the end and the completion of the sfirot, the godly emanations of light, beikra hamidas, in the majority or the main part of the attributes. Dehainu, in other words, shezeh koilel es kol hamidas, that this includes all the attributes. Oshir, in other words, wealth. Ad Malchus sheba Malchus mechubad, to the level of kingship, within the attribute of kingship, which is mechubad, which is distinguished, respected, honorable. Neisaf alam shochad meichin al yodon, and this is in addition to the drawing down of intellect through them, chocham v'gibar, the wisdom, a wise person, gibar, a mighty person, v'heidi gam asfira chamishis. And furthermore, the Rebbe says, Hoid is the fifth sfira, the fifth emanation, shemiramezes al pchinas chamishis lepare, which hints to the concept of the fifth hand will be unto Paro, in regard to that which it states in with Yosef, that the Egyptians were allowed to keep 4 hands of their agricultural crops, and the 5th hand had to be given to Paro. The isperil v'isgalion minei kol neherin. Paro in Kabbalistic terminology is the level, the spiritual level, that from it comes forth and is revealed all emanations of light. Nifru v'isgalu mimenu kol ha'eres, all lights. Bevchinas parua, and this is in the manner of parua. Shalamayla miseder v'ishtalshalus. Parua is that which is wild. That's the literal translation. In other words, what do we mean by parua, wild? Shalamayla miseder, that it's above order, v'ishtalshalus, and the order of the chain of creation, as explained in Kabbalah and in Hasidic philosophy, bechinas pele, and this is the matter or the concept of wonder, pele. V'zeh gufa nasa seder kavua, and this itself becomes the permanent order, bechinas aleph, the concept of the Hebrew letter aleph, leosid love, in the future to come, which should be Bezras Hashem, Teichef umiyad, mamish, immediately now. Yechi Adonenu, Moreinu, Verabenu, HaMelech HaMoshiach, Chai V'Kayom, Le'olam Voed. A good yontif in honor of Yud Beis, Yud Gimel Tammuz, the day of the liberation of the Frierdiker Rebbe from jail. And the Frierdiker Rebbe says that this is an auspicious time for redemption, for Geula in general. And the Rebbe says that this is, since it's speaking about the redemption of a Nasi B'Yisrael, the leader of the Jewish generation, therefore it is applicable and it is negeah to each and every one of the Jewish nation, each and every one of us. And Mimele, therefore, we have what to look forward to not only Shabbos, Sunday, when we actually celebrate the 12th and the 13th of Tammuz, the celebration of the Geula, of the redemption, but Teichef umiyad, mamish, immediately now. Yechiya Adonenu, Moreinu v'Rabbeinu, HaMelech HaMoshiach, Chai v'Kayim le'olam v'ed. Amen.